Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for Saturday night's main event recap. And we had a couple of things to tackle, mainly Seth Rollins' legit injury and Goldberg's retirement match. But before I get into anything that's revolving these matches, I want to get into something that's the whole event related. I don't like Saturday night's main event. Here's why. It's basically commercials. We might as well turn Saturday night's main event into Saturday night's commercials. Because when you're watching this, a lot of things were cut out by commercial. Some of it I'll get into later on in this video, but it's a lot that has been cut out by commercials, with it being on NBC and Peacock versus it being just a standard premium live event. I think with it being on NBC, it's riddled with commercials. Now, one thing they could do, I wish they would do, is have the match still playing on the side, like they used, like those screen by screen. They have the ads, but then you can keep up with the match and what's going on. Because basically, Saturday night's main event is basically turned into Saturday night's ad event. And it's frustrating for us pure wrestling fans that's there for the wrestling, that's there for the story, that's there for the content of the WWE, that we get a lot of it cut out by ads. I'm not a fan of it, and we'll see. Like I said, I'll get into it later. And it's scheduled right now for John Cena's last match to be on Saturday night's main event. Imagine that getting cut out by a lot of commercials. Imagine Saturday night's main event being cut out, John Cena's last match, cut out by commercials. It's frustrating as somebody who's like me, a pure wrestling fan, a pure WWE fan that wants to see everything going on, to follow the storylines, to follow the aspects of the match, for a lot of it to get cut out by commercial. It's frustrating. But either way it goes, let's get into the night as we begin the night with Randy Orton taking on Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton comes out with Jelly Roll. Drew McIntyre comes out with Logan Paul. Very solid match that we got to see the little bits of because of the damn ads. And it ends up Randy Orton comes out on top. But Logan Paul comes in and attacks Randy Orton post-match, only for Jelly Roll to hit Logan Paul with the right hand, and McIntyre comes in and Claymore's Jelly Roll. Now, this is setting up as a good story, as it was made official that it would be Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. That's our second official SummerSlam match made going into the event in a couple of weeks. So I liked it. I want to see how that match is going to play out. But then we have, when they're showing, got the people on the side promoting Women's Evolution, you're showing Rhea Ripley, you're showing Jacy Jayne, Jordan Grace. You show Jade Cargill only for her to get attacked by Naomi, and they're going to continue that storyline heading into WWE Women's Evolution. And not only is it a big ringside brawl, and when things calm down, GM Nick Aldis comes out and announces, I have a special thing for one. I was going to do this in the back, but since you guys can't keep you away from each other, I got one person that can be in the middle of this. And it's announced that Bianca Belair will be the special guest referee for this no-holds-barred match. I want to see how that's going to play out. I'm interested to see that. I really am. How's that going to fare? So it's going to be Naomi versus Jade Cargill in a no-holds-barred match with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. Then we have Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship. And it ends up solid match that we could see that Solo ends up picking up the win with the help of Tala Tonga holding the rings and holding Solo up so we can get the pin. And then they attack Jimmy Uso after the match. Then Jacob Fatu rears his head and begins to attack Solo's MFT. Now, I'm interested to see how this rivalry, this feud is going to go. I've always felt that Solo versus Jacob Fatu should have been a SummerSlam match. It probably still will end up being one, but we shall see. Now, the main thing of the night, one of the bigger headlines is Seth Rollins versus LA Knight, which was turning out to be a good match, only for Seth Rollins to tweak his knee yet again. Now, and then LA Knight, off the inadvertent injury, hit the BFT to pick up the win. Now, the main thing is Seth Rollins' injury. How serious is it? And is this going to basically scrap WWE SummerSlam plans for Seth Rollins? Now, one thing about Seth that I hate is that his body breaks down on him a lot. Whether it's knee injuries, whether it's back injuries, he's had a ton of injuries that's kind of halted his career. And it sucks. As one, I am a fan of Seth Rollins. I was more interested, I'm not going to say more interested, I was just basically invested to see where this faction was going to go. It sucks that this faction still doesn't have a name at this point, but it really sucks if this is going to keep him out of SummerSlam or longer. Because we were thinking, I'm not going to lie, when I was watching this, I was kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, this might be a work. This might be something to try to set up a cash-in on Gunther versus Goldberg tonight, later on in the night. I really felt like, okay, he might be trying to sell this injury. But from the way his face looked, it kind of looked like it was something serious. And I hope it's not. I hope it's just something that keeps him, I'm not going to say on the shelf, but just like, it's something he can get through until maybe after SummerSlam or things happen. I hope it's not really significant that it keeps him out for a long period of time, because it seems like some of the stories that will keep cooking up were just starting to get going with this faction. I think some of the stuff was just starting to get going. And for this injury to happen absolutely sucks. It really, really does. So I hope this is nothing serious. Let's pray that this is nothing significant, even though the reports are starting to come out that it is significant. I hope it's not. But then we have the Gunther versus Goldberg retirement match, which I honestly, to be honest, if you guys have watched my videos, I wasn't really invested in this, but I think in this match, it really was a solid match. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a solid match for Goldberg being a 58-year-old man. And we had the Goldberg miss the spear with getting into the barricade, spearing to the barricade. Then he almost hits the spear on Gunther, but Gunther moves out the way, and he ends up spearing Charles Robinson. And overall, this is a very, very solid match, which ended up with, I thought WWE could have pulled the swerve. I thought they could have. I really thought they was going to pull the swerve and have Goldberg win in his retirement match, but ends up with Gunther putting Goldberg to sleep to retain the World Heavyweight Championship, and Goldberg is now officially a retired wrestler. Now, if you guys have watched my videos as of late of wrestling, I wasn't always the biggest fan of Goldberg. I respect Goldberg. I wasn't always the biggest fan. But throughout his career, what a run. What a run. All good things come to an end. Happy retirement for Goldberg. Now he can get to focus truly on his next chapter in life. So, at the end of the day, this event, like I said, it sucked that we had so many commercials. It was okay. The matches were actually pretty solid, what we did get to see. And for overall, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. It sucks that Seth Rollins gets hurt. And it does set up not only Women's Evolution, where we're talking about Bianca being added to the match of Naomi and Jade as special guest referee, but then we also get an official SummerSlam match with Jaylon Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew. So I'll give this event a 6. Solid showing. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. I'll give it somewhere in the middle. But either way it goes, that's my thoughts. Leave this video a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.